All right, so everyone, okay, let me turn on my podcast. Okay, so the podcast is on. All right, so namaste, everyone, and welcome to the Yoga Talk. Today, I'll be discussing or sharing about mantra. So, mantra or mantram is a sacred utterance of a numerous sound. Simply, it can be a om. Most of us, when we begin to practice yoga, we literally begin with the simply chanting om, right? So here it goes. Like let's begin our talk with simply uttering the sound om. Fold the hands to the heart center. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Okay, open your eyes now. So you can see simply utterance of the sacred, any word, even a syllable and a word or a group of words in Sanskrit or even in Pali or the other languages. So why we chant mantra? Because it's believed practitioners, literally the yoga practitioners, or even in religion, or some people even practice in the spirituality, they have this synthetic structure or in a literal meaning, while others maybe do not believe in it, but there is a correct connection with the self, and also it's sort of this mystical kind of to invocate the energy. And also the mantra, let me give you more like a sort of a bit of more clear explanation. So the sound of something, it feels to free your mind. And also there's no such wisdom or magic in anything, but mantras are quite can be so personal, and it's more of the energy. And as I said, a mantra or mantram is a sacred utterance. So it's simply as a numerous sound. And also there are many mantras. Let's say Shanti mantra or Bija mantra. And also there are mantras that divine God, mantras for some, spiritual practice. So prayer for peace, prayer for even to begin something with, to invoke the beginning of some topics, even discuss philosophy like Upanishad or Gita or even Vedas. So like it can be any source. So the sort of like to awaken the energy, and mantra is a sound that awakens you. And let's say, what does by a mantra mean? Traditionally a short sound, and is also a repeated other sound. Why? In the earlier talks I mentioned, meditation is linked to the breath, and also some practitioners found mantra as a support to keep repeating, to help to keep our mind and body focused on the moment. So it is also quite helpful, and it can use in a meditation practice. And if you ask me, how do I choose my mantra? It's quite personal. You can literally find on your own, or guru or teacher pass it to you. So always, use and trust your what do you call the intuition? Okay. So if you don't like the sound or something, or it feels like difficult for you to pronounce, or it takes time to practice. So just feel free to experiment and try out the favorite mantra that you like, or any other mantra. And that's one key. I can say mantras can be so personal. And I would say find a good teacher that, to teach you, literally connect with yourself. That's because yoga is to literally have a connection with yourself. And that's why these breath work and also mantras literally can use as a support, or also many purposes, also like, let's say, including healing, personal growth, or even prayer or concentration and focus, and also the higher self, or the this vibration of the sound linking with your breath. This sacred word helps you to enter into the deep meditative state. So, you know mostly I found from my experiences that mantra is literally finding energy and also clearing the mind. Literally, when I began the class, I always like to you know chant mantra. It's to simply setting the notion, or simply setting the energy in the room, and also clearing the mind from the negative thoughts, because I understand we all of us busy with our life. We often run here and there, and we're forgetting ourselves. And I found mantra can be so powerful that it'll change the way you think and also the way you act. So it's like more the internal practice. So I would highly encourage everyone to begin the practice with the mantra. I'm gonna share the about Bija mantra, and basically I start my class with three Om mantra, and then Bija mantra for Ganesh and Saraswati, and then Shanti mantra. That's what my teachers and mentors and my guides has offered me, and I've learned. And here I am to any of who are following my classes, or even not need to follow me or anything, just for you to uh, just to know what are those mantras that I often chant in the beginning of the class and also the ending of the class. What I'm going to share is now at the beginning of the class. There are three Om I chant. Simply inhalation, on exhalation I chant. So the word Om, and then I move on to the Ganesh. Is the Bija mantra. It's for the protection and success. It's Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. So it goes like this. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. So I chant three times. I also release in my podcast how to, people who are doing my courses on site like Awadi 300, or some workshops about Sanskrit for yogis, often taught this, how to chant and also pronounce the Sanskrit word. So you'll get to chant the mantra. So Sanskrit for yogis is one of the topics that I teach in my trainings. If you're interested, you can inbox me and I can send you the information. But those who are already taking training, or how I'm teaching in the classes, just take this as a sort of a short wisdom, a little snippet for you to understand what is mantra about and why we chant mantra. Okay? Remember, mantras can be personal. Mantras are energetic sound. It's a sacred utterance of the Sanskrit words, or even sila from any other language, not just from the yogic language. So this next one is the Saraswati. It goes like this. Om Aim Saraswati Ai Namaha. Om I Saraswati Ai Namaha. Om I Saraswati Ai Namaha. It literally means for knowledge and wisdom. And this is what we chant about for the Saraswati, asking clarity and wisdom to share the knowledge. So often, because our mind is covered by ignorance, so we ask for clarity. And then we move on to the Shanti mantra, which is the here it goes. I chant once. Om Sahana Bhavatu, Sahana Bhunaktu, Sahaviryam Karavavahai, Tejasvinavaditamastu Mavit Vishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So I just say that quickly, but there's a way of chanting. Once again, as I said, you can listen to my podcast or earlier videos. I have literally released this mantra series. You can listen to them and practice them. This mantra meanings is literally maybe move together as a teacher and student, maybe to relish like together, and maybe perform with a great concentration and vigor, energy and power, and maybe has this filled with the brilliance, understanding leading to knowledge. Let's not have any conflict, but peace, peace, peace. So this is the beautiful meaning of mantra. So it's protection and success, and knowledge and wisdom, and no conflict, but finding a peace between the practitioner and the teacher, or even the group of people that practice together. So now I'm moving on to the closing mantra that I often like to chant. It goes like this: Om Asa, sorry, Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha, Sarve Santu Niramayaha, Sarve Badrani Pashyantu, Ma Kashchit Dukha Bhag Bhaveta, Asatoma Sadgamaya, Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya, Mrutyorma Amritangamaya. Om Shanti 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 Shanti. So this mantra is literally, may all be happy, free from illness, may all see what is auspicious, may be no suffer, but only happiness and freedom. And also leading from the darkness to the light, leading from the untruth to the truth, and finding that light and awareness and asking for the peace. So this is what I chant in my closing of the day or the practice or anything that I you know finished with it, not only just with the class. So as I said, mantras are very powerful. Mantras are very also can be personal, and mantras are literally have this synthetic structure and literal meaning, and some mantras maybe not, some are this one. So that's the mantra today I would like to share. I hope you got some understanding about this short sharing from mantra. And if you have any questions, if you have any kind of like need some more clarity, you always can inbox me. And remember, mantras are Sanskrit words. Not only that, it can be any other language, but mostly I'm in the yoga field, so I mostly the seek the clarity or the wisdom from the yogic. So the mantras that I share, it's actually from roots of yoga, from the various Upanishads. And remember that mantras have their own origin from the predominant sound like Om, which is the sound of creation, right? Like sort of a, let's say just as a metaphor, like that there was a big bang, ooh, the vibration, and everything has started from nothing. So there was a darkness at the beginning. From the darkness, the creation has happened. So they believe that most of the yoga practitioners, Om is the sound of creation. So I simply suggest you chant Om while you meditate, or even you begin with the class. You can develop this mantra to, awaken that energy within you. And as I said, it can clear the mind. And also, I would share from the Sanskrit word mantra is derived from root man to think. And scholars consider the use of mantra have begun before 1000 BC. So it's very old, ancient, let's say middle Vedic period around 1000 BC and 500 BC. So it's quite a lot more used in Hinduism, and it developed into the later on, like the art and science, because there's a lot of influence. And mantras are mostly composed in Vedic Sanskrit in India, and its simplest, and the word simply is Om. So I would highly encourage you start with Om, and then move on to choose your mantra that you like. And mostly, once again, the Om sound is literally very simple. Om, it's a letter of three words, A-U-M, Om. There are different explanations, but what I've learned is these explanations that from my literally lecturers and mentors that I have learned these roots of yoga and what is this mantra about. So remember, the Om sound, when it's produced and creates a reverberation in the bodies, help to make the body, mind to be calm. So simply for everyone, universally I'm speaking, you start with the Om first, and then you can move on to the next practices like I mentioned, like the Bija mantra and Shanti mantra, even Pavanamana mantra. There are many mantras actually. So, and also I would just like to touch base about the Ashtanga opening mantra, where the Ashtanga yoga practitioners, even the modern father of yoga, T. Krishnamacharya, and then move on to the Pattabhi Jois and Manju Jois, Sharad Jois, this lineage, and most of the teachers, that my favorite teachers, John Scott, and these all the people are chanting the opening mantra, and closing mantras are quite different. So the modern yoga practitioner has been chosen based on what their lineage and what their guru has passes. So once again, why I share this, different gurus and different yoga lineage has different mantra practices. And also these are all Vedic mantras. So just for you to understand overall, what I chant is the Vedic mantras. Also, the other chant is the Vedic mantras too, but they are different. Okay, so they invoke for the various purpose and also to their gurus, and also it's the wisdom of the sages. All right, so that's about it. Which I hope this already gives you some more clarity. I'm going to wrap up this talk by simply chanting Om for one time, Shanti for three times, and then Om. I feel like if you can join with me, and let's begin. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. That's it. So once again, I hope you enjoyed the talk. I just give you a rough sharing, but if you really want to know more about it, you always can inbox me. And stay tuned for more videos and look at my podcast as VK the Artist. And once again, this is Mentor VK. Thank you very much and namaste, everyone. Bye for now.